Hello, my name. Hello, my name is Edward Brooks, and welcome to the last in this series of short videos. Again, thanks for watching these videos and just taking the time to understand the issues that we see happening across the market, impacting individuals, teams, projects, and organizations. On their own, individually, these are, I guess, important challenges. They're significant. Combined, they become a massive impediment to the implementation and utilization of all these new technologies. That will impact the strategy of your that will impact the strategy of your organization, the goals and objectives of your senior leadership, and it will frustrate the efforts of the people who are tasked with delivering the projects. So we're not the first to come up with the phrase knowledge as a service, but I think we're probably the first to turn it into a real business model. The concept is absolutely simple. Everyone needs new knowledge at a time that suits their own projects and careers. That requirement is highly asynchronous. It's highly personal to you and your person. That requirement is highly asynchronous. It's highly personal to you as an individual and what you're going through and what you need to know. Aggregated across your organization, you're dealing with a lot of individual, aggregated across your whole organization, and really you're dealing with a huge variety of uncontrollable, unmanaged. That requirement is highly asynchronous. And if you think about the journey for one person that they need to take based on their requirements for their job and their career and their projects they're working on, and multiply that across your whole organization, and suddenly you end up with a very unmanageable set of variables that you have to let the organization. That requirement is highly asynchronous. And if you imagine how asynchronous it is, that requirement is highly asynchronous. And if you imagine that personal journey that one individual has to take based on the projects they're working on, based on their career background, where they're going with their next, that requirement is highly asynchronous. And if you can imagine the journey that one individual has to take, based on their background, the projects they're working on, their career objectives, and you multiply that out across your whole organization, and suddenly you end up with a very completely unimagined, completely. It's that requirement is that requirement is highly asynchronous, and if you can imagine the journey that an individual has to take, based on their unique background, their personal objectives, the projects they're working on, where they want to get to with their career, and then you multiply that out across your whole organization, it's very hard for you to sit in one position of power and try and manage all of that. You really have to allow organizations and individuals to learn what they want to learn at a time that suits their journey. It's going to be very, very unlikely that 10 people in your organization will all need the same new knowledge at exactly the same time. If you run a traditional on site or online course for those people, the chances are that 4 of them needed the training last month, 3 of them need it next month, and only 3 of them really need it this month. Once you get to more granular content, and there's no way that you'll have the scale to start justifying running a course on site in this kind of model, which of course is where online training becomes very, very powerful. We take it a few steps further. We break knowledge down into 3 levels. First of all, the awareness level. What is the technology and what can it do? You're understanding the case studies, the use cases, what the technology is and where it can be applied. Then the second level is training. Expert-led, live online classes showing you how to do it. And again, these are very flexible. They repeat on a monthly basis. So if you miss one class one month, there'll either be another class that month or there'll be the same cycle the following month. And they're always going to be the freshest recordings available for you to catch up on, either for to review things or if you missed the class. And then the third level of knowledge that we think is absolutely crucial to success is support. You've learned what you want to do, you've learned how you should be doing it, you're in the real world and you hit an issue. So who do you turn to get help exactly when you need it? We call it the kind of the phone a friend model, but the idea is that you're not on your own, you're not expecting or or relying on your colleagues or your leadership to have the answers, because as I keep saying, this is new to everyone. So those three levels of awareness, training, and support are what we boil down to knowledge as a service. And of course, the as a service piece means that it has to be flexible around your work life schedule. So this is what we mean when we're knocking down as many barriers as possible. The just and what this means that what then and what this means, what knowledge as a service really means, is that we are knocking down as many barriers as possible between where you are now and the knowledge you need to get to the next level. And what knowledge as a service really means is that we're knocking down barriers, as many barriers as possible between where you are and the knowledge and support you need to get to. What this really means is what knowledge as a service really means is that we're knocking down as many boundaries as possible that will help you get from where you are now to where you're going to get to. What knowledge as a service really means is that we're knocking down as many boundaries as possible, helping you get from where you are to where you want to get to. And again, that's an individual level repeated across your organization. Once you're multiplying that out, once you're speeding up the rate of adoption, once you're reducing the costs of implementation, making it easier to run these new technologies, that's going to transform your organization. At a corporate level, you're helping your leadership achieve their strategic goals, delivering the promise of all these new technologies. That will drive growth, that will drive new products, that will drive a stronger workforce, and that will directly impact both the top line and the bottom line in any organization. And at a project level, access to this knowledge means that you can support the delivery of all these new technologies, not just now, but into the future as they evolve, giving your teams a service that will help them deliver. And as an employer, you're making a very clear statement. You're helping your people seamlessly evolve from one area to the next in line with their deliverables, but also their own career and personal goals. You're giving your people the tools they need to succeed. You're connecting them with the experts who will help them along that way. And you're also making it easy for them to find new ideas to use these new technologies. And again, that's a super attractive package. And that's a super attractive package to existing employees and people you're trying to recruit. So this is the last in the series of videos in this short series. So this is the last in this short series of videos. So this is the last in this series of short videos. If you'd like to hear more about the beacons, then just reach out to me on the form below. We can schedule some time to talk directly about how we can help you, your organisation and your teams deliver on the promise and excitement of all these new technologies. Again, there's lots that we know today, there's lots we can imagine for the future, but the one thing that's for certain is that none of this is going away. It's only going to be faster. If you'd like to hear more about the beacons, just reach out to me in the form below. We can schedule some time to talk directly about how we can help you, your organisation and your teams deliver on the promise and excitement of the new technologies we know about today and all those that are still to come. My name is Edward Brooks, and thanks again. Take care.